you said, well, I'm all about helping women step out of their comfort zone. So
Right.
And that's what I don't want to do it. Oh, come on.
That's kind of a midlife theme that I've latched onto in the empty nest stage, is that I need to start living for me again.
Right.
You know, we put that on hold, and I do so willingly, and I would do it all over again. But I kind of got comfortable kind of doing nothing that challenged me.
Thank you for watching Mornings with Missy. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe wherever you watch this program, and join us live every Tuesday morning at 10 a.m.
Good morning, Green Country. Thank you for stopping by this morning. I'm Missy, and you are joining us this morning on today's episode of Mornings with Missy. And I'm so excited to have a very special guest with me, Stacy Been. She is the Communications and Community Liaison for Henryetta Public Schools. And thank you for joining us today, Stacy.
Thanks for having me.
So
I'm
happy.
honored to be here.
Yes,
Seriously.
and she is bright and colorful this beautiful
Yes,
Tuesday
maybe
morning.
too much so this morning.
I don't think there can be such a thing. So we are so happy to have you. Today we're going to just be talking about all sorts of things regarding a mama's heart.
Yes.
And specifically you and Justin and your transition into empty nest. Special thank you to Reba's Buds and Blooms for our beautiful arrangement this morning. Drop by and see them on Main Street, Henryetta. But share with me, first of all, as we get to diving into this, just how you guys ended up back in Henryetta.
And back is the key word. Some people don't realize that we started here right after college. Justin was doing his full internship. So we came back in '99. He had the thought and the plan in his own heart that this is where he would stay. He loved Henryetta. He loved the school system here. He would teach and coach. And that did not happen. And a no that was hard to accept in the beginning was one of the biggest blessings, and so purposeful with what God had planned. So we left the year after that, and we spent a couple decades elsewhere. But all of that being prepared for now, I feel like. I can see so many things that was like, oh, that's why that had to happen.
Yeah,
first.
you don't see it at the time,
Yes.
but when you're looking back, you can,
Yes.
you can see how perfectly
Yes.
orchestrated it was.
And somebody told him, you really need to leave home and establish your own identity before you settle and do something, especially in the public eye, especially when you've grown up there and people know you as a kid. And so he definitely grew, had a lot of success. It was great for our family. But then the time came, and it was an opportunity that I did not see coming at all. But God had been preparing us for about 2 years. We had no idea for what. You know, he starts doing things, you start feeling something, you know something is shifting, and you have no idea what it is.
What were some of those things that you were experiencing?
There always gets to be this slight restlessness, and you don't understand it, and you feel kind of guilty about it.
Yeah.
And so obviously you start praying about that, and there had been some talk about an opportunity, and honestly it seemed far-fetched to us in the moment. It was not on our radar, nothing we were searching for, but I always say we got to pray about it. Anytime something comes up, we pray about it, because I have learned that God's plans are not like mine usually.
Yeah.
And he has some surprises in there for me. So we did that, and it was a 2-year span, like I said. And then it was right before COVID, and my daughter was going to be a freshman in high school. And we had come down to see a performance of the theater department, and she fell in love. And we didn't know this about her. I mean, I knew she was a dramatic little girl and all that, but it was never like a thought that she wanted to be on stage. And so really that was a pivotal moment. And so when things started shifting and opportunities arose, we just kind of knew that even we felt like we had something to give a community and school that we respected and had a lot of sentimental feelings about. But for her, it would be a good move, and it was. It changed her life.
Yeah, because as a freshman in high school, a girl, all of those things, sometimes they can be very resistant about that change.
Oh, yes. And she went through some ups and downs with it,
Sure.
you know. But again, we prayed through it as a family and felt confident that's what we were supposed to do. And then, you know, COVID happens.
And the world
that
shuts
year.
down.
And I was so grateful, though, to be here closer to family. We were about an hour away, which doesn't seem like that much, but with our lifestyle, it was significant.
Right.
So we weren't seeing our family a whole lot. And just to be closer, to be in a small town again, it was a comfort during that time. We could go outside, just all those things. It was like kind of one of those, oh, you saw that coming. Yeah, this is no accident.
Right. So you've been, so 4 years, she graduated school here.
Yes.
And when you first started, or when you first came back, what was your role in the community or with the
So I was
district?
in the district office in the finance part. So encumbrance clerk, activity clerk, doing those things. Very behind the scenes.
Right.
So that's kind of shifted a little bit. So it was just school finance, which is not the most exciting thing to do, I'll be honest. It's been a very depressing thing because,
Well,
you know, look at it. We were always told you're going to get cut. There's less and less. We need you to do more and more, but we're going to give you less. You know, we all know the story behind that.
well, and I will say as well that if your personality just seems that it lends itself to people.
I'm a people person.
You're a people person.
Yes.
So when you put a people person behind a desk with finance, sometimes you don't know what you're missing until you
Right.
step out.
But it was scary to step out.
It is scary.
You know, because
And-
you get comfortable where you're at.
Right. And when I approached you about coming on this show, and I had shared with you how absolutely nerve-wracking this is.
Right.
Because this is completely out of my comfort zone.
Yes. Mine too.
You said, well, I'm all about helping women
Yes.
step out of their comfort zone. So
Right.
As
And
much
that's
as
what
I don't
this
want to
is.
do it, I'll come on.
That's kind of a midlife theme that I've latched onto in the empty nest stage, is that I need to start living for me again.
Right.
You know, we
Right.
put that on hold, and I do so willingly, and I would do it all over again. But I kind of got comfortable kind of doing nothing that challenged me. And so I've tried to say yes when I'm scared and I feel insecure about it. And this morning is actually one of those moments. But I'm trying to force myself to do more things scared, because it helps you feel alive again.
Right.
You know, and it challenges you and you grow, and I need to keep growing.
Right. Your self-talk. I can do hard things.
Yes.
I can do scary
I
things.
say that all the time. Yes, exactly.
So we always have a segment here.
Yes.
Our cup of the week. So share with me your cup, and it is beautiful, and you matched your
I know that
attire
was
perfectly.
not intentional, but that often happens with me. It says, "Great is thy faithfulness," and that is, I feel like my whole life is based around His faithfulness. Like I was saying, so many decisions. I don't live an exciting life. I don't do anything spectacular. I feel I'm a very ordinary person living an ordinary life. But He has been faithful in everything that He's asked us to do, where He's moved us, provisions, just everything. Things I didn't understand in the moment. He was faithful through it all.
He absolutely is.
Yeah.
How hard was it as you moved your sweet little daughter to the big city to go to school?
I know. That was honestly probably one of my greatest faith hurdles. I realized that a lot of my sometimes peace and faithfulness in God was also tied to me feeling a little bit in control.
Yeah.
And that went out the door when she moves, you know, almost 2 hours away, living the college life. Every fear you could possibly have, I did. And I knew I was preparing leading up to it. I'm like, this will be one of the hardest things I've ever had to do, because I really just want to lock her up in a room and keep her safe and protect her from the ugly of the world. And of course, I want her to make good decisions. I had no reason to think she wouldn't. But you know, they're on their own, and they're
Right.
choosing for the first time, you know, how they're going to live, their standards for themselves, and you just pray that you have prepared them well for
Right.
that, and you've done your part, and then that kind of opens the door to all those insecurities. Like, did I teach her everything she needs to know? Have I planted those seeds so deep that when she's in a very secular world that she'll make the decisions I hope she will? And I mean, I'm very pleased. She's not a perfect child by any means. None of them are, but she's done very well. God has again been faithful. He took something that was so hard for me to let go of and has just done amazing things in her life. And she's honestly one of the reasons I have been making changes, because she inspires me. It's totally shifted, and I've watched her step into things like so bravely. Like, she's young and she doesn't let it stop her.
Yeah.
And she started her own business,
Right.
and she does all these roles at her school and steps out to lead.
Yeah, she's extremely
And-
involved.
Yeah, she is. And I just look at her and watch, and I'm like, I need to be more like my own kid.
Yeah.
I've raised her to be that way, but I kind of stopped challenging myself to be that way. So she's helped me in a lot of ways to step out on some things, and just letting God be God and giving her back to Him. That was something that had to happen for me
Right.
to let go. She's never been truly mine. I was entrusted with her on this earth.
Right.
But she is His daughter.
Right.
And so there was definitely a faith shift that had to happen. And it's still something I have to work on every day. Look at the world. It's hard. But I don't know how people parent and live this life without faith. Like, I don't know what I would do and who I would be.
I truly don't either.
Yeah.
You've already addressed so many of the questions that I had for
sorry.
you. No,
I tend to do that once I get talking.
It's great. But I wanted to ask you specifically, how has y'all's relationship changed now that she's
With the empty nest?
well,
Or
yours and Justin's? I did want to talk about that, but also
me and Mary's.
yours with your daughter.
I would say it's shifted in that great stage. It's more friendship
Right.
than parent daughter, in a great way. I saw instantly. This is what I tell all my friends when their kids leave for college. I saw a light switch moment. Like, she's always been a respectful kid and everything, but when she left, it was like I knew everything. She appreciated everything ever done. She can't live without me. Like, it was like such a wonderful thing. It felt really great. And then we just, the bond deepened in a different way, more friendship based, I would say. So I'm fortunate that she shares a lot of her life with me. It was hard. I've been right there through all these years. Everything she ever did, I got to have a front row seat to. And so that was a significant change in hearing about it, not being there. But she keeps me in the loop. She shares it with me. We enjoy that. But when she's home and we're together now, it's just like my best friend is back home.
Yeah.
So it's pretty special.
How about for you and your husband?
Yes. We've been partnering together throughout this life, this whole time. But she was the center of our world in a lot of ways. And so there was kind of a dynamic shift. But I always try to have a good attitude about that. Like, some people mourn when their child leaves, and I did not want to do that. I wanted to embrace the new freedom.
Yeah.
I wanted to make the most of it. And I mean, I've always had a wonderful marriage, so I was looking forward to kind of concentrate on that a little bit more. So he has had the biggest struggle with Mary being gone. I mean, he is such a sappy dad. He loves her so immensely. And so he gets a little pouty about it sometimes that she doesn't get to come home all the time or whatever. But I, on the other hand, I enjoy not cooking all the time. Life simplifies when your child isn't there all the time. I miss her so much, and I love when she's there. But like I said, I try to look for the positives. So it simplified our life a little bit. We're together in some form all the time because we're both working for this goal. And that is kind of a 24/7 thing for both of us. So I'm lucky that we get to do it together. Otherwise, we really wouldn't have much time together at all, even with her being gone. But I think we got to just focus on us a little bit more, trying to work that in. It's more, she's gone, but our work has increased. I feel like we replaced some of her being gone with more work.
So some of your
we still have to be
personal downtime
intentional.
is more intentional. Right.
Yes, it has to be. And you know, we view date nights as going to ball games to support
Sure.
our kids, all those things. So I maybe have a different standard than other women.
Well, you also touched on this earlier in our pre-show conversation.
Yes.
I said, how is it being empty nested? And you said, well, you're really not.
That is true. I'm lucky we just have one child. And I think if everything would have ended in supporting a child, like when she left, I don't know what I would have done with myself. But we have pretty much devoted our life to serving other people's children. And I love that. It's a sense of purpose that I don't know that I would have in my life if it wasn't for them. So I've got to just be a tag along. Justin's been the coach. He's been the athletic director. He's been the theater director. He's wore all those hats, and I just get to be a helpmate. And just love on them, support them. So I've always felt like we call them our kids, you know. So I felt like over the years we've had so many, and it's completed probably that part of me that would long for more children, you know. This is God's plan that there's one, and I'm so thankful. So it's never really ended in caring for kids in some way and wanting the best for them and trying to devote our lives so that they can have better and more and be supported and be encouraged and have wonderful school memories.
Right.
That's so important to us. So yeah.
So how is this theater life for you?
Oh, it was a whole new world. I didn't know anything about it. I still learn every year more and more. That was like being thrown into something. You know, Justin was in theater when he was in high school here. So he was familiar and new. I was clueless. So it was a huge challenge.
Are you musically talented?
I am not. No, it's so sad. My
Well,
family is, and I feel left out.
I mean, we can't be good at everything.
No. I would not say that I'm a talented person really with much. Sometimes I feel so like I pale in comparison to my crew. But I'm okay with that. I don't need the spotlight. I'm perfectly comfortable being behind the scenes, just helping. I love to be around people, as I said, that have talent,
right.
that are dynamic, that are influential. So I get to do that being at the school, being married to Justin. And of course we work with Liz Bielko, who's amazing. And I've learned so much from her about theater. So the first year that we came back and did it, we were on our own, and it was crazy. You just jump in and you just do the best you can. And my parents thought we were going to kill ourselves, and I thought we might. It got close, but we survived and we made it. And then Liz came back into the picture, and they make such a great team. And so I just partner with them, help where I can. I do not have their talent, do not have their skill set, but there's room for everyone. You know, you can paint, you can steam costumes, you can feed kids, and that's where I come in, and that's what I do. So I'm just glad to be in the mix because it's such a special department. It's such a special transformation process that happens with kids. I've seen a lot in the coaching world. I've got to witness that and see kids change and develop and see their true potential. But theater is like that magnified. It's something so tangible. And when I hear kids talk about their experience, when I hear parents talk about it, it makes all the hours that are invested, all the putting life on hold to get a musical done and produced. And it's worth it all because it is life-changing. And I know that because my own child was changed. And it set her on the path that she's on now, the experiences that she had at Henryetta High School.
Well, she was so in front of the camera, on the stage, I mean, cheering and drama and all of those things. She's more so behind the camera now.
Yes, she made the shift too, and that actually came because of a high school class. Justin started a communications class called Night Vision. It was his vision that we would do this to serve the school purpose, but also for kids, that it would be a class. So they get to learn about videography, photography, graphic design, things like that. And so she was the first class, her senior year, and that's when she got behind the camera, fell in love, and now she's a media communications major. It has totally changed her life. Like there was something that happened that I mean, I know God would have, if it needed to happen, he would have found a way. But I think, how would this have all started to unravel for her and the path be laid without that? So never underestimate the power of what's happening in your local school system, especially for these high schoolers. And the more we can incorporate these courses and opportunities for them to be exposed, especially in small town, because that's what I feel like maybe affected me. I also grew up and graduated in a small town, and that was before the digital age. So exposure was so limited in career options and things to do, and it's changed so much. And so even though we're small and we don't have as much, we do get to expose them to more. And the more innovative our school gets, we have great leadership that gets behind these ideas. Mr. Price is all for it. He's the one that's really amped up everything in the media department and promotions at the school and opportunities for our kids. Then we can open the door. And I could give you a list right now, just at our high school since this program started, how many have gone into this, that are majoring in college and found their path, their thing, that they were missing and lacking and looking for. So it's very special. Theater, the arts at our school are great. We have choir and band and the performing arts, and it's really a great thing that's, I feel like, unique to Henryetta here. In
there
our
are so
local
many
area.
things. In your role as community liaison, what specifically are you doing in that capacity? How can businesses or community aid in that endeavor?
I am kind of the available middleman to connecting resources. We have so many people that want to help our school, and there is not a person that could be devoted to that in the school system. Everyone's wearing multiple hats. It was hard to connect things that people wanted to do and help with. So I'm serving in that way. And then also I'm in Rotary, I'm in Lions Club, I assist the Henryetta Education Foundation, partner with the VFW. All those people that are doing wonderful things for not only our school but our community, I'm there in the mix now. So it's really helping, like I said, connect resources, make it easier on them to do what's on their heart to help our district.
Right.
So I am at meetings, I am the source, the contact for getting things done, and for promotions. We're doing a lot more promotions on our media outlet, which is Night Vision on Facebook. And so we're able to say thank you in ways that we weren't really able to before. That's really big on my heart, that we show appreciation and gratitude. We have something special in our community. Not every small town, not every small school district has what we have in the support, and you're one of them. Love Ford is one of those. We appreciate that so much. But it makes such a difference for these kids, and I don't know how our school system would have thrived and made it sometimes without our community stepping up in all the ways. And they do it all year long.
Right.
There's so many kids that are saying, can you help? Can you help? Can you support? And the answer is always yes and yes and yes. And so we just want to do more to be able to say thank you, to show what happens on the backside. Like when you give, when you donate, when you support these things, this is what these kids are doing. So we want to show you that more. So I'm giving a more inside look to what's going on behind the school doors.
Right, because so often businesses and community members are willing to be a participant when they know of the need.
Absolutely. And our community is doing a lot of great things, great events, and so we try to plug those too. So it's just kind of working hand in hand with each other to make the most of our community and school system, because they work hand in hand. You can't have a thriving community without a thriving school system, and a school system can't thrive without a thriving community. It's so dependent on each other, and that's something that we thought was so special about Henryetta. Versus some other community schools in the area, is that community was so strong and it has so much potential, and we see that and we want that for our town, and we see people working so hard to get that done. And so that may not be our area that we're called to, we're in the school system, but we wanted to connect that more.
Well, on so many of these episodes I've talked to business owners and just community members who are looking for the growth in our community. And I will tell you personally that in my past and career paths before, anytime that I went and interviewed in a community or someone came to my community to interview for a position, one of the things that was always top of mind for me is I want to go and look at the school
Absolutely.
that I'm going to potentially be taking a job in, or that someone is going to be coming to our community
Right.
to take a job in. That tells you what you need to know about a community.
Yes.
So at least one of the things that you need to know,
Sure.
not everything,
Right,
but
not
it is very
Yeah,
insightful.
it's a huge factor, exactly. And what we were hearing is that our community didn't have the information they needed for moments such as that, when they have people, when they have industries coming in. And so that was something that we wanted to be able to fill that gap too. When you need information, like we want you to build, we want you to recruit, we want you to bring people in, come to us, we will get that for you. That will not be a struggle anymore. So just shining a light on the positive things that are happening, and it is a process. I'd like to say overnight that you can turn things around and it can be the place you envision, but it takes work and it's a process. And we get more and more people on board with the vision. We have a dynamic leader who's spearheading all of this now, and Mr. Price. And we're making significant progress very fast. And I can see it just in my role. The bridging of the gap between community and school, how people are utilizing my position and everything. I see us growing together. Like it's happening super fast. And then you pair that with what the community is doing in our local businesses and industry, and it's very positive. I'm very hopeful about the future, and I think we're only scratching the surface of our potential.
Yeah, well, I can see your enthusiasm.
I
It just
am genuinely
oozes.
enthused about
your
this.
Your colorful attire definitely speaks to the personality and
thank
the
you.
excitement that you have for that.
Yes.
Talk to me about the things that are upcoming over this next, well, through the end of the year. What are some things on the calendar that we need to be watching for in ways that we can participate?
Okay, I will say immediately we have homecoming next week. And last year we brought that back on Main Street, which was something from Justin's days in high school.
So that's on Thursday.
That
correct?
is on Thursday, which is October 2nd.
Right.
And that is for the community. Everyone's invited. This is not just a school event. We want the community to come out. We do a couple community pep rallies a year to try and have more people there, to be a fun event for them to see our kids. We always introduce multiple groups. It's never just about the football team or cheerleaders. We have our night brigade there. We have other students. So homecoming court's a big thing in this town. We have a very large homecoming court, which is great because it allows maximum of our students to participate. So what they'll do will have between 4th and 5th Street blocked off. And our city is great to work with us on that, and our local businesses understand and support that. We're running a storefront contest, so hopefully those windows of all our businesses will be decorated.
They always are.
Again, they did so awesome last year. It was great. It set the tone. It was a perfect backdrop. We'll start that at 6:30. Our homecoming court will ride in on their cars, be introduced. We'll do that first, and then we'll get into the rally. We have some contests. Our kids work all week long on what we call Clash of the Classes. And so they're earning homecoming points by dressing up each day. We have dress up days. We have that on Night Vision if any parents are needing that information. And then the big pinnacle of the competition, besides their floats, you'll see their floats, they'll be down there as well. We'll have those judged. And then they have the dance off. They choreograph this, they dress up like it's a big deal, and they are all about it. And so it was hugely entertaining last year. We've been doing the dance off for some years, but to have it on Main Street, that was a first. Our community was awesome. So we will do that, and then we announce the winner of the class, at the game, which the game, homecoming, will start at 5:15, I believe. I checked on that right before I came. Yes, it's 5:15. Ms. Hargis organizes that. She does amazing. She's so busy, and she has a lot taking that on. And then the game will be as normal at 7. So those couple days are going to be great. We have some classes coming in for their reunions. I know 1975 is going to be there, and so they're tailgating before, and they're going to sit together at the game. So that is really my focus at this exact moment, is getting homecoming done and that being successful. The weather looks good and clear for us, so that will be great. And then as we move into the fall, we'll be wrapping some of these sports up. We're already, it's senior night for softball tonight.
Okay.
So if our community can come out and support those ladies, that will be tonight. And then we'll transition, to our winter sports. But we have some things up our sleeve that we would like to share on Night Vision, just to give a little more insight to our amazing teachers and what's going on in their classrooms. So as soon as I can get to kind of level out, I keep thinking, I'm like, it's October and we haven't leveled out for the beginning of school yet. There's just been so much to cover. And we want to start opening the eyes of our community just a little bit more. I think that appreciation and gratitude will skyrocket. I think it's so great. I try to be an outlet of affirmation and for these teachers, because I'm telling you, it is such a tough job they do. It's harder than ever. The challenges are enormous, and resources are limited. What they're being asked to do is not anything that one single person should be required to do. Our children are in need of so many things. It's overwhelming. And so my personal goal this year is to really just facilitate showing, highlighting what they're doing, what they give themselves, the great things happening in the classroom. So many parents don't even see that. They don't even know the environment their kids are in. And these teachers spend so much of their own money, their time, making it a special place.
And I think the environment has changed a lot from, what I remember as a student, or even my own kids, who are in their 30s now.
Yes.
It's different.
Yes. Yes, and they're bringing different things in. Of course, there's technology things, but for the needs of these students, with some of the challenges they're facing, they're having to be more creative, bring in new tools and resources. And so, like I said, we hope to open the eyes of the community a little bit more, and I just want to give a platform for appreciation to be shown to these teachers, that when we do something, you can say thank you, that's easy to do. That's part of what my goal is with Night Vision, is that sometimes we're thinking, hey, I appreciate you, or that was really awesome, you did that, but we don't necessarily see that person or go out of our way to express that. But when it's right there in a little Facebook feed, it's so easy to say thank you, or you're doing a great job. And that's what I hope we do more of, that we're not just consumers of media, but we're interactors. And I think, one, not only does that help us in what our reach, as you well know, it expands that reach of the school, but also it's a great way to just so freely and easily give back to the people investing in your kids and our community and our school system, and just say thanks. I see you. I appreciate you.
Yeah, that's so incredible. Stacy, I want to thank you so much for dropping in this early morning. I'm glad that you made it in.
Well, thanks for having me.
Please make sure that you're coming out and supporting those nights on Friday.
That'll
be homecoming. That's the second.
Yes. So the homecoming ceremony will be before the game.
For all of those things, thank you so much, and I just appreciate you joining us this morning.
Thank you. I appreciate what you're doing. I think this is a really neat platform,
well,
and
as I've said,
I respect you for stepping out in faith.
It's completely out of my comfort zone.
I know, but I respect that, and that challenged me in coming here. I'm like, if Missy can do it, I will show up for her.
Well, thank you.
Yes.
And thank you. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you here next Tuesday morning at 10 a.m.
Thank you for watching Mornings with Missy. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe wherever you watch this program, and join us live every Tuesday morning at 10 a.m.